Hi everyone, let's take a look at My Budget. This video will show you how to view the budget activity and remaining balances in the accounts that you have access to. To get to My Budget, we log into the hub. We click the Employees menu and then My Budget. On this screen, we tell the system which accounts we want to view. This is the sample budget number we're going to be using, and I'd encourage you all to watch the video on Budget Numbers Explained to see what all these numbers mean. The 90 goes in the Funds row. This row we can ignore, institutional units. If we're looking up 30702 for the department code, we can put that in here. And if we want to specifically look at our supplies spending, we can put in 63040 here. Now entering the numbers as you see here is fine if you just want to see one specific account, but let's say I want to see a range of accounts. The first way to do this is to simply enter more department codes or object codes in the boxes I have available here. You can put in up to 5 of each and it'll give you the results for everything you specify. The second option is to use some shortcut methods. If I want to see all the 6-3 operating expense budgets, I can just leave this number as 6-3 and it will show me all the accounts that I have access to that have an object code starting with 6-3. I can do the same in the department field if I have multiple departments that start with the same two numbers. I could leave this 30. This sort of wildcard shortcut will also work with just one digit. If I want to see every account I have access to that starts with a 3, I can leave this here. As we said before, it'll work with 2 digits. It will also work with 3 digits. So if I want to see all my department accounts that start with 307, I can just leave this like that. Or what you can do if you want to see every single account you have access to is just leave everything blank and hit OK. So you have a lot of options for choosing the information you want to see. But for today, let's say we want to look at all the accounts under the 30702 department. Once we have our search criteria entered, just want to double check that the correct fiscal year is entered. Right now it's June 2012, so we're still in fiscal year 2012. If you want the accounts displayed to be sorted in a certain way, you can make changes here. And the date range we suggest ignoring. And click Submit. So here we have our list of accounts. If you're not seeing the accounts you expected, please contact Jamie in the business office so we can double check your access. In this first column, we have the account number for that particular row. The UP column, you may or may not have something here, but that stands for unpooled or a pooled account. Most of our accounts are set up in such a way that the funds sit in a lump sum in what's called an umbrella account. And any sub-account that can access those funds is called a pooled account. So this shows you if it's a pooled account or not in this column. For example, you can see that I have $3,000 sitting here in the 63000 account, which is the umbrella account for this budget. So if I need to buy paper clips and charge it to the office supplies budget, 63040, the funds will come out of the umbrella account here, but the expense will be reflected in the detail for the pooled account here. And as we continue moving across these columns, we'll see the description for the account here, the amount budgeted, and again, the umbrella account contains all the funds, and the pooled accounts can charge against this umbrella. If you have an amount in the requisitioned column, it means that there's a requisition in Datatel for this amount, and a PO hasn't been created yet. So this should just be a temporary phase. Once the PO has been created, you'll see the amount in the encumbered column, which means there is a PO for that amount, but we haven't yet written a check to pay for it. And once it's actually been paid, it goes into the actuals column. This is also where you will see things paid for directly by a budget transfer or purchasing cards. On this screen you see a summary of your charges, so I can see that we spent $100 in student wages, $20 on office supplies. And if I want to see all the individual charges that make this amount, I can click this link to see more detail. Anywhere you see numbers that are blue underlined links, you can click those to get in and see more information. Sometimes it's good to take a closer look because as you can see here for food it looks like we've spent $20. But if we click in to see the detail, you'll see that we actually spent $70, but we had a credit for $50. So these balances on the main screen can sometimes be a little bit deceiving if you have credits coming in as well. So again, here's what you'll see if we click that link for the $20 spent on food. The reference number is either the voucher or check number, if this is something a check was cut for. It might be the PO number, if it's a PO. And whenever you see this as a blue link, again, you can click it to get more information if there is a link to the PO there. If this was a purchasing card transaction, this reference number is going to show you the last 4 digits of the purchasing card that made the purchase. So if you have a mystery charge on your account, this can be a clue as to who made it. Moving over, you'll see the date, the charge posted, and the source, which is either going to be PG for something paid for with the purchasing card, PJ, something in the purchasing journal, meaning a PO, and JE for general journal, which means something like a budget transfer. We'll see who it was paid to and the amount for each transaction. Down at the bottom, you'll see the total amount spent for this budget, and again, this is balancing out any credits that have been applied. If you ever try to click into an account and get this error message, all this means is that there simply was no activity for that account. It's not actually an error. It just means there's nothing to show. Back on the summary screen, you'll have balances listed for each department under department total. Be careful about the fund total and grand total because these are only showing you the balances for the accounts you have displayed on this screen at this particular time. Don't rely on it for the actual balance of an entire department unless you're really sure that every single account is being displayed. So have fun with my budget, and you can see our list below on this webpage for information on who to contact if you have questions.